ati naambia mtu I want to go see a counselor, anakuza unaenda kulipa mtu muongee tu.
Unaenda kulipa mtu mwingine.
Yeah. So there are those cultural beliefs. But there is a growing awareness that is coming in, especially with even you people in the media embracing such. Yesterday I was in an article in the Nation newspaper, and I was talking about battling the man up taboo or something. And the issue of people don't cry, men don't cry.
Men don't cry.
And I said I cry, myself I cry.
Yeah.
And it's liberating.
Yes.
I don't cry in front of people. I try to hide it. Yeah, but I encourage men to cry, to find people they can trust.
Yes.
This and even us as professionals coming out to talk about it, we can help. We are helping to beat the stigma and the silence. Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. So we've talked about how we, being an example, leading, you yourself, you know how to deal with mental health, and by leading, people will also be comfortable to talk about it. But we have people who can't talk about their issues at all. They suppress their issues internally. That's their coping mechanism. Some people who create this shield. I cannot talk about what I'm going through. So how can you deal with someone who's ataki kuongea kabisa about their issues? That person is like, you know what, I'll just ignore them until they're gone, you know, act like it's not there. So how can you deal with such a person? As a friend or as a family member, how can you deal with that person?
Okay. What you're talking about is something we call ego defense mechanism.
Yeah.
One of those things is something called repression.
Yes.
So repression as an ego defense mechanism ensures that someone doesn't talk about things, or they repress them so hard that they themselves want to forget them. The mind is battling to forget all this stuff.
Yes.
But the fact remains that these things are still deep down within us. And one of the things that we assess for someone to be open to talking, it's not forcing them to talk. It's not coercing them or trying to bribe them into talking. One of the things is just reinforcing the safe spaces. What I've found to work at some context, if these people are willing to, they're not violent, they're not against being talked to, getting them into spaces where people are opening up tends to ease them up as time goes. So if they can get into those spaces where they hear people sharing about their silent battles, people talking out about whatever they have been going through.
People sharing their personal experiences towards healing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they do that repeatedly, even if they're not talking. Eventually, they'll come to realize, because some of us in this society are faced with an issue I like to term as a context of terminal uniqueness. That I think I'm so unique, hakuna mtu anapitia zile vitu nimepitia. So I can't even share. Or I've been so abused that I can't even think about sharing. Or even when I think about sharing, one, I think about it's like I'm awakening the trauma. It's like I'm relieving those traumas. Or sometimes I think, what watanibebaje? I'm afraid of the shame, of the guilt, the stigma. Yeah, so what has happened is that when people get into spaces, and that's why even in counseling, we promote things like group counseling. We also promote things like support groups, where people can just go, sit in, they don't have to talk, they don't have to share, but keep on listening to these other people sharing what you have said, the personal experiences, lived experiences. And eventually, someone comes to believe that, there are people who have been through us that I have, and they are getting help, and they are opening up. So it's being patient with them. Healing takes time. there's that context also of people believing that mi nafaa kwenda to one counseling session and I'm good.
And I'm good to go.
It's a journey.
It's a
journey. You start the healing process. Sometimes you're ambivalent. You don't know whether to share, not to share, what to share, what not to share. And it's okay. It's okay to be that way. But as long as you're on that journey and you're traversing it, eventually the most important thing is just being there. Eventually healing does come.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as a person who is right there at home watching us, someone who can talk about their issues, someone who can't even open up to someone who is closest to them, what are some of the practical steps they can take towards their healing journey?
Yeah.
And what message do you have to that person, someone who can't talk to anyone? What are some of the steps they should take?
Okay. I'll start with the steps, then the message.
Yes.
Okay. The steps. One is to just pause. Just stop going with the flow, son. Just pause and breathe. Try to ground yourself in the present. Just look around. Sometimes we have these exercises where we tell you to
Yoga.
just. Sometimes you'll just sit and I'll tell you, name 5 things you can see. Just to come to the present. Tell me like 3 things you can smell around you. Tell me about 2 things you can touch around you. Yeah. These are small exercises that bring you here. Because you might be here, but your mind is very far away. That you don't even know who is next to you, what is next to you. So for anyone going through mental health challenges out there, I'll tell them to just take a minute to pause and breathe. Be aware of their present. After that, sometimes it's good to talk to someone. It doesn't have to be someone in your circle, in your immediate circle. Yeah, you can just look for someone you can trust. Just try and think out of all the people you have interacted with and look for someone who you can trust. If it's coming to therapy, come to therapy. You are assured of confidentiality and privacy. Research for a good therapist. Research for someone who's experienced. It is beneficial. If that is not possible, you can start with some writing exercises. Do your journaling.
Yes.
Write about what you're going through. Write it on a daily, in a very secure space, somewhere no one will find your journal or something. Journal about it. And for me, I also insist on praying. I'm not a crusader for any religion, but I just believe that people need to trust in a higher power. People need to trust in something. That there is something that has been keeping you going, despite all the challenges that you're going through. So if that something has been keeping you going, you can put some more trust in it and ask it to help you some more. Yeah, so I'll tell them pause, breathe, look for someone, journal, have a journal, and pray.
You've mentioned something very important, praying. Spirituality in religion has been viewed as an escape point for someone with mental health issues. You know, I've had this stereotype that if you're in religion, ukiomba hiyo kitu itaondoka. Ukiomba hiyo stress iwezi kusumbua, ati mtu amekoka vizuri hawezi commit suicide. Do you think that people have chosen to take religion or spirituality as a coping mechanism? And do you think it's a practical step that actually works, or is it just something that blinds us or keeps us to avoid talking about what we are going through, or helping us ignore what is actually going through, ignoring the reality and just saying, you know what, God will solve everything, but you don't talk about the actual issue and what you're feeling. I
believe that's a very huge conversation. And I would say religion. I wouldn't call it spirituality. Religion has been used to criticize and even criminalize mental health in so many contexts. Watu ukipatwa umekunywa, wewe unaenda kwa shetani. Hauko poa. And I would say that we also need to really think about that context as a society, because we have to differentiate spirituality from mental health. We also have spiritual health,
Yes.
as a dimension of life.
Yes.
So these two, they can be intertwined. They're all intertwined, the physical, the spiritual, because even when we talk about the physical, you find that mental health has physical symptoms.
Yes.
And there are even illnesses. One of the signs you asked me about mental health issues are illnesses that don't have a diagnosable cause. Like, you can tell where this illness inafanyiwa lab test, inafanyiwa nini, hazipatikani. And sometimes even the doctor themselves will tell you, go to a counselor, do some psychometrics and see what is going on. I think this issue might be related to your mental health. In the same way, there is a boundary between physical and mental health. There should be a boundary between spiritual and mental health. Because spiritual health is in the context of you having your own, I don't know, in certain spheres, just you as a being and your relationship with your deity or something. But for mental health, spirituality has to be differentiated a lot. It has to be, people have to stop using spirituality as a means of explaining mental health context, because the only thing it does is to oppress people going through mental health issues.
Kind of shaming or stigmatizing.
Stigmatizing them more, shaming them more, telling them that it's because they don't believe more, telling them because they are not practicing certain religious principles. And for me, personally, spirituality is about grace. It's about you just being able to function under some kind of grace that is propelling your life to greater and better things, and making you still be strong in your own faith and in different aspects. But mental health now, when you come to mental health, it emanates from the brain. The way your brain is functioning, the way messages are being sent to your brain, how you're transmitting these messages. There are different chemicals that lead to different things. There are chemicals for happiness, for sadness, for everything. Your responses to certain stimuli in your environment. So when we assess that and have probable causes of your mental health issues, then you work on them. For your spiritual health, work on it as an independent party. If it helps to better your mental health, well and good. But it should not be a cause for stigma and shame. Yeah.
And how do you think these religious organizations, for example, churches, mosques, temples, how can they create a safe space for people to express their feelings or what they're going through in their battles?
As we said, for the institutions too, the religious institutions, they have, especially in our society, they have an upper hand in terms of impacting societies and cultures. And if they embrace mental health, the society will embrace mental health. They need to do this outreach. They have access. They have the financial muscles. They have the professionals within them, because most even psychologists are in these churches and stuff. And I've seen some churches even offering free counseling sessions. I'm yet to go, but I would love to understand whether it's the counseling or it's Christian based or it's whatever it is. Yeah, we see.
Unapewa verse, go with that. That will help you.
It happens. I've had even their